Good morning. It's Wednesday. I did my Technique Tuesday last night, but had gotten my eyes dilated and was really having a hard time seeing. So chose to wait and record this morning for you guys. So today I want to show you a fun pop-up card that Shelly Zach shared with me quite a while ago. And I thought it was so fun, but just hadn't had time to put something together. Since it's Christmas, I decided to make it a Christmas pop-up here. What I really like about her layout is that it will fit in our envelopes. Several of the recordings I saw online were for larger cards that needed a bigger envelope. So I like this because it'll fit in ours. So let's get started. One of the stamp sets I'm using is The Most Wonderful Time. I know you're not surprised. You know I love this set. We're going to use the presents out of it this time. And then I'm also using the Perfectly Plaid, a couple of the trees. This tree also has the tree trunk separate so that you can do them in the different colors. I'm using real red paper. I forgot to get another one out. Since my first recording didn't work right, we're trying again here. This piece of paper is 8.5 by 11, and I wrote down these dimensions. Don't trust the dimensions, they're not right, but I wrote down the right numbers. So you're going to turn your paper this way, and we're going to score it at 2 1/16, 4 1/8, 6 3/16, and 8 1/4. Then we're going to turn it and cut it at 4 1/4, 2 and 2. Okay, so let's do that. Grab my paper trimmer here. We're going to start at 2 1/16. You'll notice as I give you these measurements that we go up a 1/16 of an inch each time. So 4 1/8, 6 3/16, and 8 1/4. So when we do that, we're creating a short little flap over here on the end that we will use to attach our cubes. Now we're going to turn it the other direction, and we're going to go at 4 1/4. And then we're going to do two of them just at 2 inches. 2 at 2. All right, then you have an extra piece here that we don't need, and so we're just going to lay that over to the side. That was the hardest part. Now it's, which is kind of exciting because, you know, that didn't look very difficult, did it? All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we have good score lines by burnishing with our bone folder. This is the rectangle that'll be the top of our card. We're going to put the 2 cubes in the front. Now you can adhere this with whatever you want. You just want something that's nice and strong. When I did it with my liquid glue last night, or the first one I made, I had some issues because I got extra glue where I didn't want it. And I found the tear tape works better. Of course, you don't have the extra wiggle room with the tear tape, so you got to make sure you get it in the right spot at the beginning. So there we go. So we're going to put it on that one. And we'll just stick it on here. Pull this off. You might notice I have a wood table now instead of the white. My wonderful husband helped me move furniture around over the Thanksgiving weekend. So you'll see I just lined that up with a score to make my cube. Okay. I put everything back in my room after I painted the walls this summer, set it up the way I thought I would want it, and discovered very quickly I didn't like where I had my desk. But as always with me, it took a while to get things rearranged the way I wanted them. So I love having my desk over here in front of the window again. All right, so same thing as we did with the rectangle, we're going to do with the square. Put tear tape on the flap so that we can make a square. The flap goes underneath the square here. Okay, so it fits underneath like that. And then we got one more. One thing I don't like about the videos now, and of course I've been doing the videos quite a while, is that I don't get to chat with you guys. So if you are on Facebook, I would love it if you join me on Tuesday nights so we can chat while I'm sharing my project. Yeah, learning curve, you always learn a lot. First time I didn't realize I had to scroll down to see comments, so I missed everybody's comment. Oh, get things figured out. I'll put a little piece there. Julie and I last night were discussing Thanksgiving and how different it was this year, but so thankful to hear that so many people were being safe and trying to make sure they didn't spread COVID. All right, so there we go. We've got 2 cubes and a rectangle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach my cubes to the rectangle. So I chose to attach the square where my flap is on the inside. If you're sending this to someone that's a little aggressive, then you may want to put tape on even more than what I'm doing. But our tear tape holds pretty well. All right, so I have found that the best way to do this is to stand both of these up, and I'm going to slide them together. So like this, okay? You want the open cube on the side so that it's solid on the front and the back. So I just slid them together like that. Make sure they're lined up on all sides. And then pushed it down like that. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Hoping this recording works. This is my 3rd attempt, I think, this morning. Trying to learn how to use the new camera that I purchased to make my recordings, because I think they'll be a little more clear for you to see things. So in the comments, if you could give me some feedback after you watch this as to whether you could see clearly and stuff, I would appreciate that. All right, so the same thing. Now we want both cubes to be beside each other. So like this, okay? And we're going to slide it up like that. Make sure it's all square and fold it down. And that is your cube pop-up card. Much easier than I thought it would be. And as you can see, Shelly's made it very easy for us. Now what I did after that is these pieces are 1 7/8 by 1 7/8, 6 or 8, depending on how many squares you want to fill in. So then what I did is on the top, I did 2 blank pieces like that, okay? And then I decorated on the front side with the trees from Perfectly Plaid and then the presents from Most Wonderful. I did want to show you one more little piece here. When you put your greeting here in the middle, you only want to attach on one side. I don't know if I can show you. It doesn't really show very well. But you can see I can put my hand behind this part over here. If you glue that all the way down, it's just not going to work right. So what you want to do is put adhesive just on one side and put it inside your cube about halfway, like that. Okay, and then that way it'll, when you have your greeting in there, it's centered. Okay. All right. So again, you can use designer series paper. You can make this a birthday if you want. Just use different colors. That's a little crooked. Good thing I saw that now. All right. Now, so here's your finished cube. Then to send it, you just close it up like that. And then when they open it, it pops up like that. And they can stand it up. There we go. All right, so it looks like that. There's one more thing I wanted to share with you. This, like I said, will fit in a normal envelope, but I don't like it if there's a lot of extra space in my envelopes. So I wanted to show you what we did. Let's see, I'll turn it so you can see. So I took my envelope. This is just our regular envelope, and I'm going to cut it at 5. So I'm cutting off, I think it's about 3/4 of an inch, I guess. So I cut it at 5. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some tear tape, open up my envelope, and I'm just going to put it on this side where it would normally be closed. A little bit more. Like this, okay? Now when I tear this tear tape off and seal that down, now I've got a closed envelope. And tear tape, got to get it all off first. All right, now I will tell you that the pop-up card is a little bit thicker than some of ours because there's so many layers there. So when I put this down, I'm going to leave just a little bit of pocket space so it pops up just a little bit so my card will fit in there better. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got a sealed envelope with a little bit of extra pocket space. So I can take my card, fold it up, slide it in, and there you go. Now, you know me, so you know what would have to go down here. We can't send a naked envelope. So we'll very quickly grab my Mossy Meadow. I guess I didn't tell you, this is Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper. And the colors in it are Real Red and Mossy Meadow. So I put a little tree down here like that. And then I would probably turn it over here and we'll stamp some presents. Trying to find my pieces here. All right, here we go. And I'm going to wipe that off because I remember I was using green last time and I hope I cleaned it off. All right, so line my presents up. And then my ribbons. And there you go. Presents on one side, tree on the other, pop-up card inside. So I hope you've enjoyed this pop-up card idea and that you'll use it for Christmas or for birthdays or any other occasions that you just want a fun, different shaped little card to give to somebody. So I hope you're having a great Christmas season and we'll see you next week.